Moving on, a fierce showdown has erupted as India observes Partition Horrors Remembrance Day. Congress is up in arms after Prime Minister Modi took to Twitter to pay homage to all those who lost their lives during partition. The Prime Minister applauded the resilience and grit of all those people who suffered during that tragic period. Countering Prime Minister Modi, Congress said that Prime Minister's intent, in fact, is to use the traumatic events as fodder for his current political battles. Congress MP Jairam Ramesh slammed the BJP for misusing the tragedy of partition to fuel hate and prejudice. The BJP escalated the fight after it tweeted a video tangentially blaming Jawaharlal Nehru for bowing to the demands of Muhammad Ali Jinnah-led Muslim League for the creation of Pakistan. Let's in fact go across to Sabyasachi joining us in the broadcast with more details. A massive showdown and a face-off in fact has erupted as the Congress party questioned the intention of the Prime Minister, saying that this is specifically being done to be used for political gains by the BJP.
Well, absolutely. This has brought down a political showdown between the BJP and the Congress. And the Congress has accused the BJP of petty politics, of using this 14th August, which the BJP has decided to celebrate as the Partition Horror Remembrance Day, as a political scenario. And we had seen that a video which was posted by BJP in their social media, in their Twitter account this morning, has gained a lot of criticism from the Congress. The video initially blames the first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru for the partition and for bowing down in front of Muhammad Ali Jinnah for a separate country. And the entire video, which has the narration and shows the horrors of the partition, shows several times images of Jawaharlal Nehru, and also accuses the first Prime Minister for bowing down in front of the Muslim League. And also they have blamed the person who had drawn the line of Punjab and Bengal, and the person who has absolutely no clue about the cultural heritage of the country. And after the video, then there was this poster which was shared by the Prime Minister. There was 12 mugshots of freedom fighters, in which the pictures of Jawaharlal Nehru was not included. But right above these 12 mugshots, there is a portrait of freedom fighters as well. In that particular section, there is a portrait of the first Prime Minister, that is Jawaharlal Nehru, which is included right beside Mahatma Gandhi. So the Congress party has now decided to attack the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the BJP for using this particular day as a petty politics, and time and again to play politics over sensitive issue. Not only Jairam Ramesh, but we have seen that several Congress leaders have come forth, they have come on social media to attack the Bhartiya Janta Party. But the BJP, as of now, they have gone ahead with their plan, because last year Prime Minister Narendra Modi had announced that the 14th of August will be celebrated across the country as the Partition Horror Remembrance Day, and that is the reason why the BJP today also carried out a silent march which was led by BJP President JP Nadda. Back to you.
Right, Sabyasachi, in fact, the Congress party also hit back, saying that it was in fact Muhammad Ali Jinnah and Savarkar who were responsible for the two-nation theory, and that Sardar Patel acknowledged this. So they are putting it back in the BJP's court.
Well, absolutely. See, the war of words is continuously going on, where the Congress party has now blamed it to Veer Savarkar for the partition of the country. But the BJP is also come up with their own video. We had seen that today morning the BJP had released this particular video. The video is quite lengthy, and there is narration in that video as well. And clearly the BJP has attacked the Congress party, the first Prime Minister, that is Jawaharlal Nehru, as well as a Communist Party, for the partition and the horrors of it. Now the Congress party has counterattacked, saying that Veer Savarkar is the one who is responsible, and if there is a place for Veer Savarkar, who the Congress party alleges has succumbed to the Britishers' pressure. So continuously the war of words between the BJP and the Congress party is going on, but it is going to intensify, because we had seen that from the past several weeks the debate was going on.
Stay on with us. we have Amit Malviya joining us in the broadcast. Amit Malviya, your response to this charge of the Congress party that the observance of the Partition Day is in fact for political gains in the current political scenario, questioning the intent of the Prime Minister.
Well, I'm not quite sure if the Congress understands how important the history of a country or a nation is. As long as we remain oblivious to our past, we probably commit the same mistakes again. And because the Congress is responsible for the partition of this country, the bloodiest partition in the world, they really want to hide their faces. And that is why they're not willing to face up to the reality. The truth is that the Congress leaders are responsible for India's partition. The two-nation theory was propounded by Sir Syed Ahmad Khan in 1876, even before Savarkar was born. But the Congress continues to insist that it was Savarkar because it does not suit their politics. Similarly, it was Nehru who wanted to get to power very quickly. It was the Congress who conceded the demand for two-nation theory even before Jinnah made that demand in 1942. So the history is really against the Congress party. Had it not been for Shyama Prasad Mukherjee, the founder of the Bhartiya Janta Party and now the BJP, West Bengal today would not have been part of India. It would have been part of East Pakistan, which is now Bangladesh. It would have become a Muslim majority state. So these facts cannot be ignored. They can't be overlooked. The Congress can bury their head in the sand and pretend as if they have nothing to do with partition. But the truth is that their hands are bloodied with the sufferings of the people who had to cross over because the Congress and some leaders in the Congress decided that partition is the best way to grab power.
Well, Amit Malviya, Congress party's counter to that is that it is Jinnah and Savarkar who are responsible for the two-nation theory, and Congress party also claiming that in fact Sardar Patel acknowledged that.
Look, the Congress party's sense of history is warped in political opportunism. The truth is that it was Sir Syed Ahmad who founded the Aligarh Muslim University, who propounded the two-nation theory. It was then picked up by the Muslim League in the 1930s, and Jinnah eventually became the ultimate champion of the theory and ensured that Pakistan was delivered. Who delivered it? Nehru. So it was Nehru and Jinnah. Where does Savarkar come? Was Savarkar occupying any government position? Was Savarkar even part of the construct that the Britishers were looking to put up for the Indian people? No. It was Nehru who wanted to get a cabinet position in the Viceroy's memorial, and that's exactly why he rushed into this partition. These are facts of history. The Congress has managed to hide it for so long, but they can't do it anymore.
Okay.
Because the truth is staring them in the face.
Okay, Amit Malviya, I request you to stay on with us because we're also joined by Rashid Alvi. Rashid Alvi, your counter to what Amit Malviya is saying, he's saying Nehru and Jinnah are responsible for partition. And as far as your allegation of BJP using this for political gains is concerned, Amit Malviya says the Congress party needs a lesson in history.
Actually, it is the fact, it is the part of history. It is first time Savarkarji had given this two nations theory. And later on, Jinnah had adopted it. And at the time of the partition, when partition had taken place, Sardar Patel was the advocate for this. It was he who started to support partition. It is a part of history. Jinnah, I do not know whether you have gone through the book written by Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, India Wins Freedom. He has mentioned every moment. It was first of all was Sardar Patel, and Sardar Patel want Kashmir as a part of India. He wanted only Junagadh and later on Hyderabad. And it was Sardar Patel who advocated for this, and then Jawaharlal Nehru agreed for it. But my question is, where were these BJP leaders that time? Why you didn't participate for a middle freedom of movement? Where was RSS? It is easy to accuse anybody. You have done wrong. What were you doing that time? Why were you not the part of freedom movement?
Okay.
Now today, after 75 years, you are accusing it was Jinnah, it was Jawaharlal.
Okay, that apart, Mr. Alvi, what is wrong in commemorating the victims? in commemorating the victims and acknowledging their suffering during partition?
No, it is all right, but these people were supporting British government that time. And today they are criticizing Jawaharlal Nehru. Jawaharlal had passed more than 9 years behind the bars. He was great freedom fighter of this country. Whether it is, how can you justify it to criticize Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru while you had no role during freedom movement? While you were standing with British government. It is unfortunate.
All right, Amit Malviya and Rashid Alvi, thank you very